I hate how it does that. It's so formal. It's like, oh, don't want to be recorded. Got to get off. Well, welcome you guys. Thank you so much for jumping on this call. I know it's been a little bit since I've had a training call. If you don't mind, if you can mute yourself, I guess I can mute people. Ashley and I are going to, I can't mute that person. I don't know why. Ashley and I are going to kind of run the call. I've asked some of our leaders to help us. So in July, I wanted to offer a couple of training sessions depending on rank. So I don't really love talking about rank all the time because I think it sometimes can bring some pressure, but at the same time, I feel like it drives good behaviors in the business, and it gets us to, number one, have better paychecks, and number two, it gets us to grow in depth, and that in turn brings you a better paycheck. So what we like to refer as building a team is incurring revenue, obviously elsewhere other than what we sell. And so when you do have rank, that means that you are building depth in your team. So it's not just you all the time. I know Ashley for sure, and then maybe even a couple of you guys on this team, when you first start, you're like working your warm market, you are pumping out that personal volume, you are like selling like hotcakes. And sometimes that changes. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. It just kind of all depends on what you want your paycheck to look like. But why I asked some of my leaders to jump on is because some of them are very current, just like some of you. If you're relaunching your business or you're brand new, wherever you are trying to get to junior rep, that's okay. But Ashley specifically, I want to say, I'm pretty 99.9% sure she's the only person that I've ever had in my sponsor line, like first level, that is triple ranked, meaning she went from rep to director in 1 month. And I've done some pretty badass things, but that is pretty freaking good. So that's why I asked her, is this everybody's path? Absolutely not. It is not everyone's path. It doesn't have to be everyone's path, but I think who better to speak to us about this? And really, other than the last part, when we were pushing for director, everything kind of just came pretty naturally for her, and I'll let her speak to that. But in the beginning, you're kind of trying to wrap your brain around like launch party, product sizing. I mean, there is a lot of things that you want to wrap your head around, and ranking probably just isn't right off the bat. So I think it is okay for you to dip your feet into like multiple parties at once, graphics, like whatever it is that you want to like know more about, that's okay. But for the first thing I kind of wanted to talk about, and then I'll pass it to Ashley, is I want to talk about understanding the comp plan. So if you have or haven't logged into your back office, clearly that's something that you want to go through in a training video or with your sponsor. But if you go to company files, I use this often. I'm always looking at this. Like now, I think even Ashley has this. I use a spreadsheet that tells me what my paycheck is going to be. But before then, I was literally doing the math on my own. But I think it's really important that you use the comp plan to kind of see where you're going to land. And I think it's really important to see, okay, if I hit junior rep this month, or if I hit senior rep or I hit director, you can see how your paycheck will fluctuate. As you grow, if you're interested in that spreadsheet, I can give it to you. But I think it's really important that you understand, like, as you grow and as you hit a promotion, how that's going to affect your paycheck. So if you are within your first 60 days, 3 months, you're going to earn that $50 bonus, right? And so that's really, really great. Like $50 on top of your check for doing, minimal work is really great. That's a lot of Starbucks in my mind. But, you just hit that one time. So every time you hit junior rep, you don't get the $50. It's just that first time. So I think it's important that you look at that now. And then when we move on, obviously, I think Ashley got double bonus. Pretty sure she hit one of those months where it was double bonus and Spark and Sock. So she hit the big money, which is great. but it's really important that you go under there and you can go under pay plan. And I print them out. I have them laminated, and I just like to look, because it's also very helpful whenever have a new teammate with you, how to tell her, okay, this is what you need to hit. So I hope all of you are in the All-Star group, and I posted a goal tracker that we use with Zion Faya, and I posted just a tracker. If you are like a numbers person, when we were trying to earn Mexico, I had that tracker out and I was like checking it off, and I was like checking my, points off. And I'm very like, that's how I like to, I'm visual, you know what I mean? Like, I like to see it, like see where I'm going and where I need to be. Now, I say, in the title of this call, I said, junior rep in 30 days, because it is very possible, right? Like, I am a firm believer in doing the impossible, but this is really possible. And that's why I asked Ashley to come. So if you have lifetime, you're going to need that $1,500, right? You're going to need that $1,500 PV. So when you enroll, it's $145, right? And then once you use your gift cards, around $245. You're not getting paid on all that, but that doesn't matter for rank, right? You just want, so if you have $1,000 launch party, you're really, really close. You know what I mean? So if you are minimally just doing one launch party, or say it's 2 months or whatever, or now you're in your 3rd month and you're close to 1,500 lifetime, you are set. That's all you need to do, right? So please take a look at those resources. It's not only helpful whenever you're learning about how to grow and how to get paid and how to hit and get ranks, but I think what's really important is that once you get a teammate, because you need one, at least one, to hit junior rep, it's really important that you know what to tell her. Like, if Ashley joined my team and I was like, I don't really know, like, just get somebody on your team. You know what I mean? It's like, whatever. So I will kind of let her take it from here. She can kind of introduce herself. And then I did have, I sent you the outline, right? If you can just kind of talk about like trainings that were helpful, calls that you got on when you first joined, maybe kind of go in that route.
All right, so I'm Ashley. I'm super excited that Erica asked me to come on here. So I found it super helpful at first to get in that back office of yours and watch those training videos. That's where step one, start out, look at all that. It has really good stuff in there. And then also I always had Erica in my back pocket. I always try, it's just how I am. It's not that Erica ever asked me not to come to her with questions, but I always try to figure things out for myself and prepare myself for success. So watch those videos, first off. And second, there is so much training. There's so much good stuff. So Zion Faya is always doing like awesome training videos. And then we always get the emails about training videos. So the more you watch, the more likely you are to succeed. Because every single time I watch those videos, and I can't always jump on live, I have young children, the times aren't always convenient, but every single time I get on one of those training videos, I learn something new. And then the other good thing is, when you first start out, ask your sponsor, just be like, can I join a couple parties that you're doing right now? Because the more parties you go to, I'm even learning things from the reps that have signed up under me. The more parties I go to, the more things I learn. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's way more fun, to put it that way. So always be open. That's the biggest thing, is like, always be open to learn more, because the more you learn, the better you are and the more you're going to succeed. So that is super nice. The training is unlimited, what Zaya puts our way. So if you want training, it is there. And don't ever hesitate to ask your sponsor if you're like struggling on a certain subject, like, hey, do you know any good tips on this? Do you know any training coming up? Because sometimes we'll look at that a little more often than what you might, or we might have just read an extra email. So that's super helpful. Parties. So parties is where you're going to meet those teammates. Okay. I have a lot of teammates that have signed up with me, and none are my like besties before Zaya. None. Because every one of my like closest girls that I was like, hey, you should do this with me, they're like, no, we got the same friends. Now we don't. Get your bestie to do it with you. But they felt like they would take away from me, or so be open to make those relationships in those parties, because I'm telling you, you will get reps out of that. And the biggest thing is have fun. Like no one wants to be on a team with someone who's just selling stuff because they're trying to push that money and make that paycheck. Like every time someone talks to me, they're like, you just love it. And I'm like, yeah, I really do. Like that's how Erica got me. Not because I know Erica. I've never met Erica in person. I feel like I know her because we talk all the time. But it was because I loved the stuff and she loved the stuff. So we were able to get that connection and it made me want to be on our team. She loved it. She was fun. So don't always just push the leggings, push the, you know, get a relationship. She loved soccer. She played soccer. So did I. We kind of started having conversations. So that's another thing. Start those small conversations. They lead to teammates. They lead to more parties and they lead to sales. So be open. I first jumped in and Erica was like, you can do a couple parties at once. So I did. I just jumped in and I had multiple people all at once that wanted to do those parties. And I know sometimes that can get a little much. You will learn for yourself how many parties you can do. Like I've been crazy and I've done 5 at a time. I've done 6 at a time, but that's later because now I know how to map them out, and scheduling those parties are huge. Get that schedule if you know you're going to be busy the next day. So that's another thing. Kind of push yourself a little bit. Once you start doing more parties, the easier it gets for you, and popping on those lives. I've gotten teammates from a live. Like I get on live and it might be random. I don't always schedule my lives and parties because I'm not a very good scheduler as far as I don't know how my kids are going to be behaving. But I always do my live in front of my rack. I got tons of stuff and I pull my favorites out as I'm doing those lives, and I'm always, always, always bringing up the rep opportunity. Beginning of my party, middle of my party, end of my party. The more you throw it out there and the more comfortable you get with talking about people to be a rep, the easier it's going to get. I talk about it all the time now. Doesn't even faze me. It comes out just like selling those lycophytes. So bring up that. When people are looking at my rack of stuff, they're like, dang, that's a lot of stuff. Well, I mean, you can do that too. You want the 25% discount and you're also earning 3.5 off stuff, like you're having a party. And someone always messages me after that. And it's like, what? How do I do that? Then you're talking numbers with them, talk that gift card, and it leads to building your team. So that's a huge thing. Get comfortable with lives. I know at first, like, it's not the most comfortable thing. And I stunk. The ring light, super helpful. Erica helped me with that. My lighting stinks. I always have to hide in my basement like I am right now, and my lights stink. But they will get easier, and your rep will help, or your sponsor will help you with. She jumped on a couple of my first lives and they talk you up and make you feel more comfortable. And I'd love to do that for any of you as well. If you know you're going to do a live and you want some hype girls, message us. We'll jump on there for you. So giveaways. I do a lot of giveaways in my VIP group. But the Zaya is doing some awesome incentive giveaways right now too. June was awesome for building teams. They were giving some extra bonuses, and they're doing it again in July. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you check that out. So not only are we earning those free items for $1,000 parties, they also just in July, what did they up it, Erica? Another $5,000, I think, for every week that you add a rep on. So that's huge. There's not going to be as many people in that drawing as the like big groups for the $1,000 parties, I think. So that's another huge thing. Let's see here. Oh, so when you're doing those parties. So I'm trying to think how many of my hostess became reps. I've had several. So that's another thing. When you are doing these parties, talk to your hostess before the party about your rep opportunity. Like, hey girl, let's still do this party, but do you want to earn the commission? I'll help you run it. Do you want to sign up now? I've never gotten them to say yes yet. Not saying that doesn't happen, because it does. Other people have gotten more lucky. I always get mine at the end, but in the middle, I'm like, hey, your party is being super successful. I want you to really start thinking about that rep opportunity. So then at the end, if you hit $1,000, you got to get that girl to sign up as a rep with you. She's got to be a teammate, because then you're throwing that 150 free towards her starter kit, which is $295. And then you're giving her that $100 gift card Zaya gives her. It's like a no-brainer. You can get them on the hook with that. And I have a couple times now. So that's huge. Talk to them, your hostess, and Also know your group of your party. So I've done parties where it's like CrossFit girls, a lot of CrossFit girls. I've done a lot of stay-at-home moms. Know your group before you start your party because you can throw more images. And another thing I want to talk to you about that is you are trying to market yourself for all of the women in that group, some or men if you're doing a party. But don't just put pictures in those parties of those teeny tiny size 0 girls, because those girls that are more blessed in the hips or the butt, or they're gonna be like, oh, that doesn't look good on me. So make sure in those parties you're trying to target your entire audience of women, because you're more likely to get teammates if they feel confident in the gear as well. So my follow-ups after my parties, I make sure to reach out with everyone. That's another huge opportunity to get those teammates when you're asking them and you know they're going to say, yeah, they love their stuff. It's another great opportunity to be like, girl, this was made for you. I want you on my team. I know you love it. I know you look good in it. Hop on this team with me. We'll rock it together. So there's lots and lots of opportunities to talk about it. You just got to get comfortable asking. And the more you do it, like I said, it'll come second nature. And you will eventually, I know sometimes it gets discouraging. You're like, I'm asking, everyone's saying no. They will come. They will definitely come, and you'll be so happy you did, because 2 of the reps that are on my team, I never would have thought they would have said yes. Threw it out there like I did to everyone else, and they're like, yeah, I'd love to. And I'm like doing a happy dance, jumping up and down, and my husband's like, what's going on? I'm like, I got a teammate. So make sure that you're asking everyone, even if you're like, there's no chance, there might be a chance and they'll say yes. So let's see here. I don't know. Erica, what else do you want me to talk about, girl?
One other thing. I know that, for sure, 100%, I've had a lot of people that have joined that I've never would have thought, or that were a hostess or whatever. But on the flip side of that too, in the beginning, I always tell people, like my new reps, this is, it's not a bad idea in the beginning to ask people that you're close with, you know what I mean? Like your best friend. So like Kelly joined me like a couple months after, and we really, her, Lindsay, and Marla and I, we talk almost every day. Ashley and Hannah, I talk to a lot. Rachel, I mean, we're very, my first level, for the most part, our leaders are very close. I have a team, a little chat and whatever. So it's not even a bad idea to be like, hey, is this something you might want to do with me together? Sometimes, like if you're a teacher or whatever, like maybe you're down to, you're crazy around like start of school and end of school, and maybe like your friend can run your team, right, during those times. So it's really helpful. Like Hannah and Ashley, they are very, very similar in the way that they run their businesses and their lives, and they're at the same level. And so it would be really nice for them to run a business. But I would say that community is the number one pillar that I have gotten from this. The executive team that that I'm friends with, like I would have never have met these girls if it wasn't for Saya. And they not only push me and motivate me and help me inside of my business and really support me with my leaders, but they're my friends. We travel together, our kids hang out together. Like it's created, and obviously during COVID, we were on Zooms all the time, but it's created something that you didn't really see coming. So I would, obviously, like Ashley, I would definitely, don't let them tell you no. Don't be like, oh, she's too busy, she can't do this, because every single one of us has full-time jobs, whether it's being a mom at home or whether it's teaching or coaching or whatever we're doing. We are crazy busy. None of us are sitting at home on their couch eating bonbons. None of us are doing that. And no one that you recruit is going to do that, right? And my husband would never let me do that. But what I'm saying was like, for me, I also don't want just anyone, like random people. Like I am very cool with not talking to people that I just don't jive with, and vice versa. So like the people on my team, like I want them to be competitive. I want them to provide for their family. Like I want them to like lead teams at 8:00 at night when your kids are going crazy. You know what I mean? Like I want them to want things. And so that's like my tribe. That's who I want. So I mean, there would be a lot of times where the hostess is like not interacting, and you know what I mean? I'm like, on to the next, like getting a new party and getting a new whatever. And so do I not ask her? No, I mean, but I know that she probably won't have parties. I don't know that. And I'm not assuming, but I'm setting myself up for the expectation. And then, I coach her along the way if she does join for the discount. And just because she doesn't have 6 parties in a week, like Ashley did, it doesn't mean that I don't just talk to her. You know what I mean? So wherever you are in your business trying to get to junior rep, just do what's comfortable to you, but also know that if you're doing something like I said, try something maybe Ashley said. You know what I mean? Like, go outside of your comfort zone. If you ask someone to join your team and they say no, like, oh well, like you're gonna have to move on. And I long story short, I was interviewing for this position or whatever, and I told the guy, and I truly believe this, like, no is no, not no forever, right? I know, like Natasha, Stephanie Gabots, she told me no for a year and a half. You know what I mean? And she's one of my strongest leaders, like 100% without Zaya. She is a kick-ass coach. She's a kick-ass teacher. She's a kick-ass mom. Like, she is amazing. And so I knew that one day if she ever would decide to do this, when it was her time, and Kim Funk, like, they're two different people, but they do very well in different ways. So I'm very open with people like that. Like, I'm like, I mean, I knew Ashley and I knew Hannah would really do really well, but at the same time, like, I tell people, like, I know you love this gear. If you join and you say that to people, they're going to feel your energy. And I know Ashley's group feels her energy. And I know the reps that joined her joined because of the energy that Ashley brings. So, for me, I would say this, like, if it's really in your heart and it's really in your head, like, I'm going to hit junior rep this month. Like, there is nothing that I've written down in Zaya. I mean, I've been writing double Zaya exec down for quite some time now, but I know that it can happen. I know in my heart that I can win incentive trips. Like, I know in my heart that I can make $10 million. Like, I know in my heart, like, all of this stuff can happen. It's just about timing. But the same steps you will take for junior rep are going to be almost the same for senior rep. And it's not until, you want to go for director that things might change a bit. But, as far as the way you get there, it's not a secret. You have to have a person under you, and then you have to be like, okay, how do I get them to $600? Which none of us, even me, no one would be like, hey, Ashley, can you sell $600 so I can get a $50 bonus? It's really just about being authentic and in your heart being like, okay, Ashley, like, let's get you a launch party. My goal for my new reps is to hit that override of 8% within 30 days. How can we get you because at the end of the day, like, I want those people to get $150 worth of free stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I want to do that every week, really, because we can do stuff every week. So like Ashley said, I would really write down on the goal tracker. Obviously, everybody here wants a $50 bonus. Everybody wants a junior rep. But I think that I also, and Ashley probably knows, you feel pressure, like, how am I going to get anyone to join my team? When I started, I was coaching at Lindenwood and I recruited 24 girls to play soccer for me, right? I'm like, how can I recruit all these freaking girls to play soccer for me and pay all this money to go to school, but I can't get anyone to join my activewear team? And it went on for like 3 months and I'm like, I'm such a loser. And so I don't know, I obviously was very new here or whatever, but the right people came, like Kelly came and then Anna came and then, the right people came to my team. And literally, I think you'll look back and be like, the top 5 people who stay are the foundation. They are there for the reason. You know what I mean? So just like, I know Hannah always says, like, I'm going to pray about it or whatever, like, whatever you have to do, put it out there in the universe that you really want this. And I promise it will happen. And I want nothing more for that to happen. But I think there needs to be 3 things that you do. And whatever it is, like things that Ashley said, things that I said, I think that you need to just pick like 3 and be like, okay, these are the things I'm going to do. Whether it's asking your hostess, all the hostesses. If you only have 1 party a month, that's not very good chances. You know what I mean? But if that's your life and you can't do more than 1 party, then you might have to ask 4 or 5 people that you are having conversations with. Like, sometimes I just joke around with people. Like, I'll be at the pool, I'll be like, yeah, you should probably just join my activewear team. Like, if you love it so much, like, I don't know, that's just kind of my jam. And some people are like, oh yeah, like, tell me more. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, I just picked like 2 or like 3 things. Another thing, I think Ashley probably done this, but like sharing your success, like, the person that you want to be in your team, they might not care about getting activewear. They might not have money, or, you know what I mean? Like, they might not care about all of that. They might just want an extra $200 for groceries. And they like leggings, but maybe they love leggings even more after they get more of them. Do you know what I mean? So just like Ashley said, not just knowing the people in the party, but knowing the people that you want to be on your team. It's really helpful. Like, if someone said, oh, you have $150 off the kit, how many hostesses have I had that were like, I'll just take the rewards? And you're like, what just happened here? Like, it's just such a good deal. You know, you kind of feel bad. Like, she didn't take 5 items, $100, like, whatever. So I know I kind of went on a tangent, but do you want to talk about real quick at the end? I know like things that you might say. So, you know, obviously when you say to your hostess, you know, before, during, and after a party, I always ask my hostesses, but maybe like maybe talk about, Ashley, like, how often, I know you say every time, but like, do you do reach outs every day? You know what I mean?
So yeah.
Like, do you voice note people? Do you message them on Facebook? Like, how do you reach out to them?
So I do reach backs on all of my sales, and I track those.
Good.
Yeah, so I track them and make sure that they have them. And usually I after they've had them for a day, I do my reach back. And I have found that some of my like mom's friends, old, I wouldn't say older, but you're 50s, 60s, I email them, because you will check during parties how many people do not check their messenger. I have sent gift cards in the party. I'm like, hey, you just want a gift card? It's in your messenger. The whole party, they will not. You will see when someone opens their message, they have not. So the people that do not open their messenger, that email is in their order. And then I go back and I follow up with them via email and messenger. Okay. Because I want to get their interest. I want to make sure they love their stuff. I want them to send their friends my way. So that's a big thing. I love voice messenger too. I like people to hear my voice. I like them to hear me be excited. I like, so much easier for me anyways, because I can just say what I want to say. I can do it. And you know what? A lot of these people don't care. Like, sometimes I have some chaos in the background and I will literally get like, thank you so much. Your kids sound so cute. People want you to be the real you. So use that voice messenger. It makes your life so much easier. You can be out and about. I do that a lot. I never had done that before, Erica. Erica always voice messages me back. So I'm like, I love that now. So my family does not, like my siblings. Now I'm like voice messaging everyone, but guess what? I like it, and it does. People, how many times have you gotten mad at your husband or like thought your friends like being short with you? When you use that voice messenger, your things can't come off like rude or like you're just trying to sell. They can hear you too behind that. So that is that's a big one. I love that. I go back. It's not just people that bought stuff either. Like, I am not just offering the rep opportunity to someone who has bought stuff from me through the party. If I have had a conversation, because in my parties, I message everyone at day like 1 or 2 and put the stuff out there, tell them like, just want to chat, see what they're into. If we started like vibing and having a good conversation, and like they just, a lot of people are like, I just don't have the money right now. We have vacations. Like, I hear that a lot right now with it being summer, but you still are like vibing back and forth and talking. Like, I totally understand that you don't have the money. Like, it took me a while to commit as well. Like, I'd tell her, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then something came up. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't have the, money coming in. My husband's doing all the work. You can offer it up then too. Like, well, you know what? I totally understand. This is what, is going to, how much stuff you can get for a discount as a rep. So don't think it's just people that are buying stuff that are going to sign up, because there's other people that will as well. And I have a list. So Erica bought me a calendar when I became a rep. And that is like my Zaya God, my kids call it Queen Stretchy Pants calendar, because they know they cannot touch it. They cannot draw on it. That is my list of people that have ordered from me. I have my gift cards on one page, and everyone that has ordered And then I have my wish list of people that I know would be awesome at this. And once a month, they are the people that are like, oh, I'm gonna think about it, or just not right now, but maybe later. So monthly, I come back to them and I'm like, hey, look at what Zaya's offering reps right now. Like you throw that Peloton out there, those gift cards that they're doing right now. And I reintroduced it and say, like, I know that you are going to be awesome. I want you on my team. I know you've said no before, but you're still thinking about it. Is right now the right time? Everyone, when you start doing this, you will have those people that, like Erica has talked about, they're going to eventually jump on. It just has to be their time. And be patient with them. Don't like nag at them, but also just keep reminding them you're here, you want them, you want to help them, and you want them on your team. So that is a big thing. I always have my list of people. Today, I wanted to earn those leggings that Zaya's giving away. I'm like, I need those. I want to close out my VIP party. So I went back to everyone that had a gift card with me that hasn't used them. And I emailed them or messaged them. And I was like, hey, it's new release. What's a better day than to use that gift card? And one of them that was like, yeah, they got some awesome stuff, used their gift card, and we're chatting back and forth right now about being a rep. So use all those little things to start conversations just about whatever it is, and then work your way into it. You don't just have to jump down their throat and be like, I want you as a teammate. All those little opportunities that you're having conversations with people is a perfect time to throw that their way. And the biggest thing, have fun. Like, I love it. Everyone knows that I love it. I've actually, one of the reps that is on my team, she's so sweet, but she's like, honestly, I know that if you could do it, I could do it. And I was like, well, that's awesome. She's like, you're literally at home 90% of the time with 3 small kids, and you're able to succeed at this. So people want to see you succeed. And if you're being real and you're like, you're busy, so is everyone else. So that's good. People want to be able to do this from the pool, from their baseball game. This is a perfect, sell it that way too. Like, what other job can you have that you don't have to get a sitter for, that you can do from your vacation? Like, that is a huge perk of this business. So make sure you talk to people about that too.
Does anyone have any like specific questions? I know sometimes, people are like, oh, that sounds so easy, but I will say, I was looking in the back, Sam Higginson, who's trained Lindsay, he's trained us at the executive level. He is fantastic. He gets some really good, expert material people at Zaya, and those videos are really good to watch. You know what I mean? So if you're not like into personal development or whatever, if you want a more intimate coaching call, you and your sponsor can call me, you can call, Ashley, and kind of put the plan together. But I think printing it out and like putting it on paper, I think is really important. And maybe like 3 key things. I will say that when Ashley and Hannah joined, if they had prospects, I would say, if you're interested, let me know if they have a time and we can get them on a call, and then, they can ask questions, and, it's not that you're just sending them a training video and they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? So I know if you're on this call and you're like, okay, I want to get one person. I know Kelly and I work really intimately with people who want to grow a team, like 1 times 1,000. Like, that's what we're working for. Because we want to get to know those people too. Like, we want to be able to help you onboard them. So I know sometimes it's just about like executing a plan, like this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. So does anyone have any questions specifically about anything?
I'll be a question. You guys can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay, so yeah, I'm kicking myself in the butt right now, and getting back into it. I'm lagging a little bit. I'm recovering from losing 2. So I had 2 under me. One, I will say, was a super close friend. She was like, just give me the discount and all that free stuff. So I kind of knew that I couldn't coach her into anything. But my other one, man, I just feel like I don't know, like I dropped the ball. So my lady above me and all my ladies above me are like, you're fine, keep going, and I know I need to, but I guess I need like both your brains, and just like, what do I do? Like, do better next time, I know, but like, I'm
Well,
just in recovery from that.
It happens.
Nobody, I want no one else better to do this than you. Like, I mean, we all see you, and I think that it's about kind of sharing your energy. I have another friend, Anna, that was in the same position, but she had a baby and kind of took some time off, and she joined 2 months after me. So what I also will tell you is you're still in a really good spot. Like once we go to 5 more countries, like it's lights out. You know what I mean? Like you'll be making money from people that you really don't know. You know what I mean? So like think about it like that. Think about other companies that you see like Rodan, Sensi. I mean, think about all that money and opportunity that's out there, and we're still sitting under 1 million reps, and think about it, half the reps that we have probably work the business. When
Sure.
I get gift calls, there's only 200 of us. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think in your mind, you just have to, I know, we know that you can do it. You've done it. You've added people to your team. Some people have 0 people. You work out, you know what I mean? Like you have such a special thing to share to people. I think you need to find your tribe. You know what I mean? It might not be your friend this time. It might not be, you know what I mean? Like it might be a whole fresh start, and that's fine. That's completely fine.
Yeah.
Like Anna did that, and she really had like a couple that didn't do anything, you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, like when people leave the group chat, I'm like, people left the group chat. And Kelly and I joke all the time. We're like, we're close to like 600, and then we lose like 20 people, and I'm like, we lost 20 people. But it hurts more for me. I lost a senior director. You know what I mean? It's like, and it wasn't just like a rant. Like these people are my friends. You know what I mean? So it's like I went from seeing and talking to her all the time to like not seeing and talking. Like that would be if Ashley or, you know what I mean? It's like that's also very sad. But the further you get in this, you have to just know that that's going to happen. Like people, it's just not 99% of people who join our business are not going to work at full time. You know what I mean? Discount. And you have to like maybe anticipate that, but treat them as if it's not, So I think you probably just need to show up maybe every day in some facet. And I think for you, it's really about like where you're at now. Like you're at the gym, like that's real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that you just be like, I'm gonna get one person, and I don't care if it takes 60 days, 90 days. I don't, you just have to be like, goal. And I think you just have to want someone to be able to share this with, because I can guarantee you when someone's running alongside you in a workout, like you're not going to leave them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I like it. Okay.
That's exactly what I was going to say. So you set like huge goals where you're working out. Like Erica and I are very competitive in that way. Set those goals for yourself. Like give yourself a time frame, because that's what I did about like the director. I was a rep, and then I was like, I'm going to smash this. Like give yourself those goals and those time frames. And I check in on my business every single day. I'm doing reach outs, or just make sure you spend that a little time, but don't stay down too long. Just pick your energy up, because that's hard. I've been there where I'm like, what the heck? I'm like putting all this time in. I'm not getting the parties that I want. But turn that around to I'm going to. Like it's going to happen in 60 days. I'm getting that teammate. I'm making it happen. And don't let yourself stay down too long, because that affects the way people are seeing you too. But at the gym, it does. Like, and at the gym, like that's where I got one of my teammates. Like I'm always rocking the stuff at the gym. They know I'm at the gym every day, and it's a good opportunity to find those people like you that work hard in the gym, and they're going to work hard in their business. So just make sure you just keep your energy high. It'll come. Everyone in this business, they're lying if they tell you they do not get discouraged sometimes, because if you're good at this and you love it, you're setting goals, and sometimes you're setting very, very hard goals. So we're not all hitting our goals exactly when we want to either, but it will happen as long as you're putting in the effort and time. It will happen.
And really share that experience, like shit happens, right? You can pick up the business and drop the business, but at the end of the day, maybe find someone that's not your upline or not your downline, like that's in your same spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I also think that summit, like that's going to be huge. You know what I mean? Like when I went to summit, I was like, I do not want to go back to my job. Like this is life, you know, and obviously 50 times and then, you know, tame. But yeah, that's what I would do. I would try to find someone that really that can hold you accountable. That, you know, there's girls in my executive group that aren't in my downline and they're not in my upline, and I don't want to let them down. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be on these trips with them. I want to make just as much money as them, you know? So, but just know that your time is your time, you know, like, don't go fill your calendar with a bunch of shit because you want a $50 bonus. Like, make it about you. Like, this is long-term for you. It's long-term. It's not like, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean, and you want to add someone that's going to thrive, you know, you don't want to just add someone, like you said, for the discount and be like, okay, great. You know,
Yeah.
now what, you know,
Mhm.
add and push you.
Like it. All right. Thanks, ladies.
Anyone else? We have Ashlyn, who is new under Hannah. She is a rock star. And Linda, who's under Kelly, and she's a rock star. Natasha, who's under Stephanie. I love her. I love your VIP pics. I always see Natasha ABC 1, 2, 3. Like, I can't wait to see her pictures. So, well, I will post this recording. I will upload it to my YouTube channel, and then I will share it in the team page. So once you get your new rep, that you can share that and help them hit junior rep, because there's no better feeling than hitting it and then having someone else hit it. So, and Ashley, you're going to go after director again. So we're chasing senior director. So if you do have any questions, you can contact your sponsor or your, you know, an upline. I'm always available for a one-on-one. Ashley is very, I mean, like she said, I learned so much from her and Hannah. They are rock stars. So they recently went through all of this. Please reach out to them. They know better than them. So it took me 3 months to get anyone on my team. So so bad. So anyways, thank you so much for taking the time to get on, and I will see you guys soon.